a very good morning to one and all present here. Kaushalyam Jnanasametam Rashtrasya Vikasanaya. Skill united with knowledge leads to the nation's progress. With this vision in mind, I extend a very warm welcome to each one of you present here for the inauguration of our first campus of Career247 School of Banking at Pune and the inauguration of our first batch of PBRM program for Axis Bank. Our mission resonates with the idea of nation's progress through skilling, and to embark this journey, we are honored to have with us Mr. Sanjeev Moghe, President and Head Branch Banking for South and West Region. We welcome you, sir. We have with us Mr. Anand Vardhan, Senior Vice President, Head Talent Acquisition and Center of Excellence, Axis Bank, with us to grace this event. We welcome you, sir. We also have with us Mr. Gaurav Mahajan, Vice President, Learning and Development, and Mr. Chinmay Sanjay Soman, Assistant Vice President, HR, Talent Acquisition for West. We welcome you both, sir. And of course, the most important members present today are our stars from the PBRM program batch 1, who will be joining Axis Bank on successful completion of this program. Moving ahead with our event, I request Dr. Tamaya Chakera, Chief Business Officer, Career247 School of Banking, to kindly give the welcome address.
So you all have spent a lot of time in your career earlier and took a choice to come and join us here with us. Welcome to Career 247 and your time in our campus here. You already spent about 2 months of online, and then you will be spending the next 2 months with us here, really understanding the nuances of the banking here, and then you will be going ahead and joining the bank. Okay, so welcome to all of you. And to welcome you all to this place, you have got the big wigs of Axis Bank. The very fact that the president of branch banking, Mr. Sanjeev Moghe, is here, is an indication that how much of an importance that they attach to you. That's the thing, and welcome to you, sir, that you have come here and you have and being part of this welcoming team here for the first batch. And I'm sure most of them will be working with you over their career. That's a very important part. So that is welcome to you, sir. And of course, the most important man for us is Anand, because Career 247, if it is today here, I'm very sure Anand has played a very important when a set of professionals with similar experience came in and joined and set up. We had to have a certain set of foothold, and Anand and his team really helped us in building Gaurav as well as Chinmay, who are all here, building this actually in this. And we have come with a lot of experience in setting up the banking academy, and similarly, we want to do that here. So welcome to Anand. Welcome to Gaurav Mahajan, because he is very important for us, because so a lot of your learnings and inputs has to come from Gaurav here, and I've been always making a request to him that he has to help to build the skilling, giving a certain core banking solutions, the CRMs, the other platforms, Siddhi platforms, and he has already acknowledged that, and he's actually having a discussion, and all of it you will be learning over your journey here. So he's very important. And Chinmay, welcome to you also. This is very nice that you have come in. So please, I think so, you all have to give a big hand to all these gentlemen who have come here to welcome him. So to just give a simple, quick analogy, you are part of, when you are a part of this thing, you are part of two important organizations that are there. One is you are part of what is called the Metis Adventures Private Limited during your learning journey. Okay, and Adda 247 is a popular brand which you all know, most of you know about it. Okay, which helps in getting government jobs. And Career 247 is a sister organization which more looks into getting people trained for the private sector jobs. Okay, that's the analogy here. and welcome to the Metis Adventures to all of you, and to help you go through the whole journey of learning and also making you a professional banker over a period of time. That's what we are trying to work here on. And as part of this program, you will also get a postgraduate diploma in banking, and obviously that is offered by our partner university, which is NITE University, which is ranked among the top 60 universities in the country. Okay, one of the top universities. So you'll also get a postgraduate diploma while you are trained to become a professional banker. You will also end up learning a lot of on the banking, but you also will get a postgraduate diploma, which is basically a bankable credit. There's a credit which you get, about 40 credits which you get, which is bankable. Okay, that's something which you all do. So welcome to both NITE Education as well as Dada 247. You are the first batch. Okay, once you are first batch, with any first batch, even if you go to a college, the first batch, the professors, the other thing, don't forget them. They are actually the guys who really draw the road lines to everybody to follow. So obviously, it comes with a lot of responsibility to you. As a first batch, you should be a trailblazer. You should set because what you do will be followed by the subsequent batches which are going to join you at some point in time. So that's very important. So we see this responsibility as very important responsibility, that you will ensure that it happens and you will be performer. You have come with a background in sales. All of you have got a background in sales. So obviously you have no inhibitions to sales, and obviously any relationship role is trying to get involved with the customer, trying to generate more businesses for the client. So that's what it is, very, very important. And that is where I would say I want you to really succeed, because if you succeed, all other batches will be. So you should be a trailblazer here. Okay, that is something which I want you to do. And this academy which we have started here in Pune, we start 2 academies, one here and one in Bangalore and a few other cities. But definitely you are part of a big story that we are trying to build in ours. When you are here, we are looking at 3 elements. We call it as ask: the attitude, the skill, and the knowledge. And I'm very sure it's easier to impart knowledge and skill. Very, 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 very easy, because skilling is by rote. If you practice, you get, whether it's selling or whether it is any other skill, whether it is computer skills, it is there. Knowledge, today I tell you, you can always fall back and Google and you ask anything, it will be always available. Knowledge is very easy to actually, but what we are more interested is in trying to build a strong attitude for you. Attitude is, behavioral skills are very important, because you will be the ambassadors of not only this institution, you will also be the ambassador of Axis Bank. So your attitude when you're meeting clients, when you're meeting customers, when you are building your career, it all makes a big difference. So discipline, attitude, okay, are very important elements that you are part of the story. Because when a customer says that I want to meet you at 9 o'clock, it has to be at 8:59, not 9:01. That's exactly the kind of discipline that you have to bring in. You have to bring in a very strong attitude to work this out. As we said, there's a lot of skilling that will be going on, whether it is the skilling in Finacle, whether it's skilling in the Siddhis, whether it's the CRM packages. Over a period of your stay here, we will be definitely mastering it. And I'm very sure Sanjay will help you to connect with most of the bankers in this thing, and a lot of them would be coming here and talking to you and sharing their experiences. That will help you a lot more. And also, obviously, you will also go and spend a little bit of the branches during this period, not only during your stay here, both at the internship and at the OJT, you'll also be spending here. You are spending a 1-year period, out of which 4 months with us as in the campus, then almost 8 months with the bank, 2 months in internship and 6 months as an OJT, which really builds the skill to you. Okay, so obviously, okay, as somebody who has come from a background of sales, targets are not going to be your major problem for you. You would only want to jump the higher targets. That's the only thing that you want to do. Let me look at, some of you have come from with some BFSI experience, or some of you have not come from it. But I just want to quickly go to you before I want the other guests to talk about is the career. Let's look at, you're taking a career to become a relationship manager at Axis Bank. How does it pan out? Just look at 2-3 aspects of it. And I always bring it under what is called as the economy, company, industry and company. So if you look at our country by itself, we are the fastest growing large economy in the world. the fastest growing large economy. There are small economies which are growing faster than us, but as a large economy, we are already the fourth largest. We hold the fourth largest GDP, but the government's intent is that we should also become from a developing nation to develop. We are right now at about close to 1,900, 2,000 of per capita income. We want to go to above 4,000 in this thing. So obviously what it means, that means we have got a very aspirational nation where a lot of people are going to become, their incomes are going to grow as we grow, because as a population, we have been growing, but at some point in the next 5, 7 years, our population will be stabilized. But then what happens, as the income grows, the per capita income also grows. When the per capita income grows, what happens is there will be a lot of people wanting to invest, want to save their money. So that means this career will show a lot, because the economy is growing at almost 6.7, 6.8%. Probably we may cross the 7% benchmark if few things go right. And not only that, we have been growing because of our service sector. We have been growing a little bit onto the agriculture, but right now the manufacturing sector is also growing quite a bit, although we are seeing the green shoots a little here. So all this means that we will be growing at a tremendous pace. You will find a growing middle class, which will almost obviously be your customers in a big way. So obviously, we are going to have an expanding middle class with an expanding wealth. So obviously, the economy is doing well. The industry, normally what happens, the banking industry normally grows at almost 3.5 times the growth of an economy. Obviously, if economy grows at almost about 7%, the banking industry will go almost about 24%. So that is the normal growth rate that is there projected. And as I said, India is poised to become the third largest economy in the next 3 to 5 years. That's the where we are heading for it. In PPP terms, we are already, but in real terms also we are going to be there. So obviously, then you are joining Axis Bank. It is a well-known name. All of you have known. Okay, so obviously you are joining one of the largest, third largest private sector banks, one of the most popular bank. Okay, which has been part of the story. So obviously you are joining at the right time of your career in a right industry, and definitely joining the right bank. So obviously you are at the right side of the thing and at the right career. The next 15 years, 20 years, we are almost looking at really this economy really doing well, the industry doing well, and also the company definitely will be doing well. So I'm very sure you have made the right choices in your career. So I want you all to dwell on this, think about your career, and try to learn a lot more during this period. Build your attitude, build your skills, build your knowledge here. And end of the day, I want you to be a very successful, because your success is what makes our success. Okay, if you succeed, we succeed. That's the philosophy. If you don't succeed, we don't succeed. So that is obviously the whole mantra here. So I want you to wish you all the very best in your learning journey here, your internship and your OJT and the long, probably 30 plus years of career ahead with you. So all the best to you. God bless you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for the welcome address. Moving on, let me introduce our guest of honor, Mr. Sanjeev Moghe. He is the President and Head of Branch Banking for South and West region, and is part of the top management in Axis Bank. And he has been kind enough to take time out and grace this event with his presence. Thank you, sir. Mr. Sanjeev Moghe has been associated with Axis Bank since March 2018. He has an extensive experience in the cards and payments domain. His experience spans across 2 decades in multiple locations and across various products, sales strategy, and management areas. He has earlier led the cards and payments channel from March 2018 to March 2025. Over the last 7 years, Mr. Sanjeev Moghe has successfully grown businesses, added capabilities, products, innovations, and scale in Axis Bank. He is currently the President and Head of Branch Banking for South and West region, and is heading about 2,500 plus branches across his region. Prior to Axis Bank, he has worked with Bajaj Finance Limited as business head for EMI cards, and has also worked with Citibank as the Director and Head Sales Strategy and Management for the cards and personal loan businesses. Mr. Sanjeev Moghe is a postgraduate from IIM Calcutta and an engineer from IIT Bombay. He is an avid runner and also a cricketer. I now request Sir to please deliver the keynote address. Sir.
Good morning. My name is Sanjeev Moge, not sir. So you can call me Sanjeev. That's fine. Good morning and welcome to my city, which is Pune. Right, how many from Pune over here or nobody? Okay, very good. Welcome to this program. What I'll do is, so all of you are here. As I understand, all of you want to do something in government, right? That's the way I understood. And then we diverted some of you saying, why don't you pursue something in private sector? And within private sector, then we diverted some of you saying, why don't you do something in Axis Bank? Now the choice of doing this and that is with you. I'll tell you the choice I made long back. My dad was in central government. He was in intelligence actually. अभी movies बनती है अक्षय कुमार की ऐसा लगता है बड़ा exciting baby so on these movies. I saw my dad. I thought the job was pretty boring. Okay, I saw him for quite a while. Obviously, he never told me what used to happen at work, but the job sounded pretty boring. I said, whatever I do, this is what I don't want to do. Okay, and most of my choices have been made like that. I'm clear about what I don't want to do. Therefore, whatever else remains, I pursue. The reason I pursued MBA literally was I didn't want to go to US. I didn't want to pursue higher research, higher studies, etc. in metallurgy and material science, which is where I did my engineering. I said, ये नहीं करना है. I was very clear I didn't want to work as a metallurgist in India. The jobs are very boring. Then somebody said we can do MBA. I said, okay, चलो करते हैं. So that's how I went into MBA. And now if you ask me anything about metallurgy, मेरे को कुछ भी याद नहीं होगा. Right? I have had interviews where I've asked somebody, the guy didn't know the answer. Then he asked me, I said, I don't know the answer either. So that stuff happens. Anyway, so you make your choices. Why you have made your choice is a reason that you should know, right? There should be a reason why you made that choice. It can be because I want to do this. It can also be I don't want to do this, right? And there is no right. There is just a right by you. अब वो आपका right क्या है? आपका reason क्या है? आपको मालूम है. What we can tell you is once you make a choice and you come to Axis, it's a great place. It's not just a great place for what it is today. I think it's a greater place for what it can become. Let me talk a bit about that because my career in Axis will, everything going fine another 8-10 years. I'm 50 now. So let's say another 10 years before retirement. Now, we'll see which way it pans out, etc. But you guys, if you join Axis and if you actually stay on in Axis, whether Axis or somewhere else, you will work for another, you guys look like you're 25, 26 types, etc. So, आप लोग at least 30-35 साल और काम करोगे, right? That's the career span you will work for. That's a long time. Right. I remember I asked my dad around the time he was retiring कि आपने इतने साल काम करे and I was then in dad retired in 97 so must have been 94 95 or thereabouts 95 96 I was still doing my engineering. I said don't you find it boring like you have to go to office every day and do this etc. And obviously we never spoke about what the office work was but I said don't you find he said no he said initial period is a bit tough as in you just don't know what's to be done what's not to be done but he said once the work actually starts there is lots to be done and there is lots that you can do different from others. So he said those aspects if you're fine then you will figure out your own way. Then I started working in 98. I started with Asian Paints. I went to Rajkot. That was my first kind of location. Then I moved to Chennai. Then I moved to Delhi. Then I moved to Bangalore. Then I moved to Mumbai. Then I moved to Pune. Pune is where I'm from but I had never stayed here. Because dad was himself outside. By the time he retired, I was out. Then 2015, I came here and I said Pune is a nice place. So while you will be here in Pune for 2 months, please know that you have to move out. This is a place where everybody feels very nice. It's a genuinely very nice city, right? Not just because it's my city, it's a very nice city. But you please remember कि आपको 2 महीने बाद कहीं और जाना है, right? आपको नागपुर जाना है, आसाम जाना है, कहीं पे भी जाना है. We will give you a posting somewhere. Please go there. Don't say Pune is where I want to stay, right? Later this year, I also perhaps will move out of Pune. But the point is, wherever we post you, whatever job you will have, whatever assignment you will have, will be important for us, right? Coming back to the second point, it's going to be a long career. Now, careers can be boring, careers can be interesting. Careers can be exciting, careers can be like just dull and dreary, right? It's not about what the job is, it's about what you make of it, right? The same course that you go through right now in curriculum, accounting, relationship management, basics of banking. अब कभी RBI गवर्नर बात करेंगे तो बैंकिंग बहुत इंटरेस्टिंग लगेगा, राइट? कभी मैं बात करूंगा तो मतलब I will then put some humor into it, but otherwise it may sound pretty boring. But somebody else talks about it, can sound genuinely very exciting. Right? Economics, for example, I remember our profs some used the ambos वगैरह, some profs were like genuinely, but they used to know it so easily कि वो आपको फिर समझ आता था कि what is economics about, etc. rather than making it a dull topic. आपके लिए the courses you have gone through till now have been online. Online always tends to have slightly lesser ability to relate. आप रूम में बैठे हो, कोई उधर रूम में बैठा है, सेशन चल रहा है. When you are all together, 20 of you right now, it makes it more interesting and interactive. Now, does it make it interactive and therefore enriching? Up to you guys, right? Few points. You are the first batch. I was 33rd batch of MBA. First batch बहुत exciting रहा होगा. जब IIM शुरू हुआ होगा, पहला batch जब आया होगा, must have been very interesting times in India. 65. So just post China war, let's say. Set up 65 में पहला batch बना होगा. अगर 98 में 33rd batch था. आप लोग पहला batch हो of RM management course for Access. Now, please do remember this. Is there a second batch? Is there a third batch? Is the 33rd batch as proud about the course? Is up to you guys. Obviously, it is also up to the second, third, fourth, fifth, etc. But please remember that you are the first batch. Always makes it important, right? आप कैसा करोगे? आप अच्छा करोगे? आप नहीं करोगे? काम तो फिर भी हो जाएगा. See, work will happen. But how do you find it? Do you add back something to the organization while you take a lot from it? I think it's up to you guys. Okay. अब तीन चार चीजें आरएम के बारे में बात करते हैं. एक्सेस, सॉरी, लेट मी जस्ट टॉक अबाउट द कंट्री इटसेल्फ वेरी ब्रीफली, देन विल टॉक अबाउट एक्सेस, देन विल टॉक अबाउट व्हाट यू विल डू इन एक्सेस एज आई लुक एट इट. कंट्री इज एट अ प्रीटी इंटरेस्टिंग जंक्चर, एंड आई विल नॉट टॉक सो मच द जियोपॉलिटिक्स, वो आप पेपर में पढ़ लोगे. एंड जियोपॉलिटिक्स में ऑब्वियसली व्हाटएवर आई टॉक अबाउट व्हाट्सएप विल हैव लॉट्स मोर. सो बिटवीन पेपर एंड व्हाट्सएप यू विल हैव योर ओन व्यू. What is China, Pakistan? ये सब चलता रहेगा, right? Let's just talk about the core economy. The biggest challenge for India is the fact that now we are a country of 142 crore people. अभी census होगा तो मालूम चलेगा. It hasn't happened for some time, but let's assume it happens sometime now. We will be broadly a country of 142 crore. 142 crore लोग बहुत होते हैं. बीच में एक इवेंट होता है ग्लोबल फिनटेक फेस्टिवल, यहाँ पे मुंबई में होता है. जियो का एक कन्वेंशन सेंटर है वहाँ पे. तो व्हेन वी हैड इट लास्ट ईयर अगस्त, मोदी जी भी आए थे. ही वाज देयर ऑन द थर्ड डे. वी वर देयर ऑल 3 days ऑफ कोर्स. तो थर्ड डे तो बहुत चॉको ब्लॉक सिक्योरिटी था. फर्स्ट डे वाज आल्सो, एंड दैट डे इंसिडेंटली इट रेन्ड. तो मतलब, एंड मुंबई इज स्टिल अ सिटी व्हिच वर्क्स व्हेन इट रेन्स, अनलाइक बैंगलोर व्हिच जस्ट शट्स डाउन as soon as it starts raining. Chennai shuts down when it is grey in the sky, right? तो लोगों को लगता है बारिश होने वाली है, चेन्नई shuts down. Actually, if you go to Chennai, the traffic jam starts before it starts raining. Mumbai still works pretty okay, but obviously it was like massive jam. Somebody had come from Mastercard. उनका जो product head है global, he was in India that day. They were inaugurating some product there. And even for us from India, it was very crowded, right? And Geo Convention Center is really large. It's impossible for you to visualize how large a convention center can be unless you go there. उसकी एक lift है. I think some 150 people can go in that. It's like a room going up. It's like this room going up type of stuff. It's a more squarish room rather than this rectangular one, etc. Now, usme he came. He said, "Today I have seen more people," and he obviously is not young. He must be 50 types. My age must be plus minus couple of years. He said, "Today I have seen more people than I have seen in my entire life." And so that's the power of the country. हमारे पास 140 करोड़ लोग हैं. वो ग्लोबल फिनटेक फेस्टिवल में उस दिन मेरे ख्याल से 30,000 लोग होंगे. मतलब 30,000 people we don't understand. And I'm not talking about political rally. This is like a business convention center. There are people seriously interested in that topic, or at least want to be so on so forth, etc. 30,000 people in a convention center is a hell of a lot of people. And वो बेल्जियन आदमी था, बेल्जियम से आया, मतलब wherever he was, he said इतने तो मैंने लोग ही नहीं देखे, मतलब पूरी like, and not in a day, he's saying पूरी life में I have not seen so many people. So that is the power of the country. Please understand. Now, obviously, whenever people come in, then the people can be distracted, people can be so on so forth, etc. One of the key challenges for the country is not, and now the population is going to virtually, we'll go up to I think 150, 160 crore. I don't think we'll go beyond that. Now, is the number 150, is the number 160? We will see. Obviously, the replacement, we are getting close to the replacement rate, which is 2.1. So, my sense is at this rate, we will kind of stabilize 150, max to max 160. Uske beyond hum jayenge nahi, which is fine. Now, the issue is not how many people will go to, because 200 is not more powerful than 160. As long as you have 80, 100 crore people in a country of China, India size, that's good enough. It's about whether we will find ways to make them productive or not. I think that's a key challenge. Okay, that's a key economic challenge. People, if not employed productively, will become gundas. नहीं, ऐसा नहीं, but मतलब whatever. I'm saying they need to be productive economically, right? I think that's a key challenge. Geopolitical, other challenges, we'll leave it. That's not the topic of this discussion. Just understand this point. But also understand that if 150, 160 crore people, crore बहुत होते हैं, right? मतलब पूरा यूरोप मेरे ख्याल से 30-40 करोड़ से ज़्यादा नहीं है. पूरा यूरोप, मतलब I'm saying leave out Russia for a minute. The Europe as we know it, the political Europe is I think UK is around 8 crore. UK is less than West Bengal by the way, right? मतलब कुछ बिहार से कोई है. Once you understand states in India and countries in Europe, you just understand Kerala itself, which we consider small in India, is larger than many European countries, and 2-3 countries put together is equal to Kerala. Leave Maharashtra, leave UP, leave these states, etc. We are still poor because we just crossed $4 trillion, etc. in terms of our economy. But 4 trillion को आप divide करते हो 140 करोड़ लोगों से, तो मतलब basically it's not too much of GDP, right? Per person. Per person, we are still talking about roughly around below $3,000. But the point is, if we are now going to stay at 140, 150 crore and the 4 trillion, which was 3.23 trillion, not more than 4 years back, 4-5 years back, that becomes 5 trillion, that becomes 6, that becomes 7, 8, etc. And obviously there are various numbers. By 2050 will become $30 trillion. We'll see. Currently US is at 30 trillion. As we go down this path, you guys will see all this, right? The key point is in your working careers, you will see India moving from 4 to 7, let's say 7 by around 2035 or so, we should get to 7. And from 7, etc. by 15-20, definitely by 2050 we can get to. Now, are we able to over-deliver, go from the normal 5 to 6 that we languish in? You can't call 6 as languishing, but whatever. Are we able to go to 8 to 10 sustainably? India has never been able to crack that. We may not get there either, right? But as long as we are in the 6 to 8 ballpark, that's not a bad number to be in at all. Keep in mind that 8% you are doubling in, I think, 7-8 years or thereabouts. 72 rule, right? So, rule of 72. So, at 8 you will double in 9 years. At a 6 you will double in 12 years. And at 4 it means doubling means 8 trillion. ये सब आपके सामने होगा, right? Will your salaries more than double? Of course, yes. So let's say you join at X is 5 or 4 or 5 lakhs or whatever, etc. You are in a private sector in a country which is growing it, so you should see growth faster than that. Obviously, if you don't do well, you will not be in the company only, right? You will be somewhere else. But let's talk about people who will do well and therefore they continue to do well. ये आपके सामने होने वाला है. Just as we saw when I was in college, we saw the first computers, मतलब first computers were there, but we started using it. 12 बजे से 6 बजे, रात को 12 बजे से सुबह 6 बजे से सेशन होता था. अगर आप कभी बॉम्बे जाओगे तो वहाँ पे पीछे एक बोरेली नेशनल पार्क है, तो टाइम टू टाइम वहाँ लेपर्ड आता रहता है. तो हम जब कैंपस में थे 92 में, तो उस टाइम एक लेपर्ड घूम रहा था, तो नोटिस में लगा था कि लेपर्ड घूम रहा है, प्लीज बी केयरफुल. अब व्हाट बीइंग केयरफुल मीन, आपको 12 से 6 जाना है हॉस्टल, एंड हॉस्टल से एकेडमिक ब्लॉक इज कपल ऑफ किलोमीटर्स अवे, राइट? यू आर वॉकिंग एट 1 o'clock इन द नाइट. अभी लेपर्ड आ गया तो व्हाट विल यू डू? But ठीक है, you used to go, obviously you used to go with 3-4 people, so hopefully the leopard realizes you are in company. But this is what we have seen, and I'm not saying somebody else can romanticize further. It's not about romanticizing the past. I'm saying this is going to happen in the present, in your future. You will see this not in a storybook, but this is going to happen in front of you for the country. Now let's get to second part, Axis. Axis story is fascinating because we are India's third largest private sector bank, and if you've read interviews of Amitabh, and you can read interviews, it's all out in the media, right? So you can read it. He continues talking about the fact that he took over when we were number 3, and he obviously doesn't like the fact that we are number 3. And obviously he doesn't want it to become 4 and 5. He wants it to become number 1 and 2. I think over time, we have also come to a perspective that we are much smaller than ICICI and HDFC for us to get to number 1, number 2 in a realistic time frame, let's say next 7-8 years. However, we can choose to be number 1 and 2 in select areas that we believe we have potential to be leaders in. A business I ran, for example, UPI, we are number 1 in India. A business I ran, cards, for example, we are number 4 at an India level overall, but very close to. Merchant acquiring business, and I'm only talking about businesses that I ran because I know it well. Merchant acquiring, we are number 1 and number 2. There's a small bank which is number 1 for whatever reason, etc. Similarly, in corporate payments, there are areas where we are number 1 or number 2 in India. We believe there are segments that we can choose which are profitable, which make sense, and which have synergies for the larger franchise, where we can be beyond our normal number 3 in the private sector space. As that happens, it will unfold on the back of a few things. It will unfold on the back of one, our tech infrastructure. I'll not call it IT, I'll call it tech infrastructure and tech capabilities. There is an infrastructure, the backbone, let's call it. ये building में मतलब जैसे एक backbone होगा, एक basement होगा, so on. And then capabilities. This building has greater capability to get sunlight, and therefore you need less air conditioning, and therefore you need lesser lighting, so on and so forth. So core IT and then technology capabilities, which are superior to other banks. When you go through this, I think you've got some glimpse into it. You will get to see Siddhi, and Siddhi is having capabilities added to it at all points of time. I'll get to Siddhi, what is it, etc. when I get to your role. I'm right now talking about access. So one on the back of that. Two on the back of our ability to work internally in a way where one axis is seen by the customer. One axis means आप लोग को अभी शायद समझ नहीं आएगा, but in banks we have big silos. I'm running some business, somebody else is running some business. तो हम जब कस्टमर के पास जाते हैं, प्रोफेसर हमें यहाँ से मिले तो हम लोग बोल रहे हैं कि मैं कार्ड से हूँ, फिर कोई दोपहर में आ गया कि सर मैं बिजनेस बैंकिंग से हूँ, मेरे से लोन ले लीजिए, मैं आके बोल रहा हूँ कार्ड ले लो, so on so forth. Or we can all come to him 9:30 in the morning and say, sir, these are things that we offer. Which ones do you want and which ones we can help deepen our relationship with? That is what we call internally one axis. And one axis is not only the bank, we have subsidiaries as well. Axis Capital, which is investment banking, we have Axis AMC, which is mutual funds, so on and so forth, etc. All of that taken together, we believe there is a power of one axis. The third thing is our brand. What is our tagline? Axis Bank? Dil se open. Correct. Very good. So Dil se open, we would like to believe genuinely we are warmer and friendlier than Bank A, Bank B, Bank C. Some bank is very robotically efficient, but not warm. Some other bank may be something else, but we are warm and friendly. And that's how we all are, and not because we want to portray that this is how we are, this is how we are, right? This does not come at the cost of any business. You can be warm and friendly and you can still win business, like New Zealand plays cricket, right? आपको ऑस्ट्रेलिया होने की जरूरत नहीं, आप न्यूजीलैंड के स्टाइल से खेलो. इट्स नेचुरल, इट कम्स टू यू, बट यू कैन स्टिल विन मैचेस. दिस इज हाउ वी बिलीव वी वांट टू रन द कंपनी एंड दिस इज हाउ वी वांट आवर कस्टमर्स टू सी अस, राइट? ये तीसरी चीज है. फोर्थ थिंग इज पीपल विद इन द बैंक who participate in the bank. Like, see, we are not owned by a particular group, right? It's a fairly diverse stock holding. It's a fairly independent board. Therefore, employees who are on the board, and obviously there's a group of independent directors, etc. But it's a completely professionally managed company and professionally owned company. It's not a family owned, etc. Therefore, we want to run it in ways that we believe we are running our enterprise as entrepreneurs. And entrepreneur is not only an Amitabh sitting there, it's not only a Munish Sharda who's my boss sitting somewhere else, etc. It's also all of you as you join in many ways 1 lakh entrepreneurs in the company, right? If we do this on the back of a country which is growing from $4 trillion at the rate of, let's say, somewhere between 5 to 8, 5 will be a failure, but let's take it, 5 to 8 ho sakta hai. For next 20, 30, 40 years, as the population largely stabilizes, it's a massive opportunity. Just as the country has changed in the last 30 years in front of our eyes, country will also change for the next 30 years in front of your eyes in your working career. Obviously, it will change. I will also see that change. But it will not be necessarily all 30 years of my working career. There will be working career for my son, as I keep telling him. So this is one. Second, within that, Axis unfolding its own strategy, because we believe, and we are not only playing with competition against bank A, B, C, etc. because India is a large space, many banks can coexist, many banks can continue to do well. It's not like one size, as in one winner takes all, right? All of us can win because the country is just so large that all of us have space to create our own space, win in this, win vis-a-vis others, but then obviously win with respect to market opportunity. अब इसके बाद हम आपके रोल पे आते हैं. RMs का की रोल क्या है? आप लोग को क्या बताएंगे 2 महीने में?
We will connect customer with the bank and providing them best services from bank side.
The correct answer. If you were to just summarize in a nutshell, the job of an RM is really to create wealth for the customer, right? Creating wealth means essentially generating returns for the customer, which is better than the inflation. आपका inflation एक है 4%, 5%. Inflation क्या होता है? What is inflation? महंगाई, करेक्ट? हाँ, तो हिंदी में महंगाई कैप्चर्स इट इन अ मोर गटी सेंस. मतलब समझ आते कि महंगा हो गया, आलू महंगा हो गया. So महंगाई, so what it means is if you are 100 rupees and 100 rupees was able to give you 1 kilo of potatoes in 1 year, अगले साल अगर आलू 104 का हो गया, do you have 103 rupees, 104 rupees or 105 rupees? Is in a nutshell, if you are 103, you are not generating, you are losing wealth. 104 means you are not generating wealth, but you are not losing. 105 means you are generating. And then 106 is better than 105, 107 is better than so on and so forth, right? Now the job of an RM is you stay engaged with customers. You will have roughly, let's say 400 to 500 accounts, but really family level 200 or thereabouts. एक family में 2 account भी हो सकते हैं, so on and so forth. It can be 200, can be 250 also. Idea really is to stay engaged with the customer. The customer will have a certain wallet size. Priority, Burgundy, Burgundy Private. These are different wallet sizes, right? Idea is to stay engaged with the customer. Customer could be salaried or self-employed and help generate wealth for the customer. Bank or banking in a nutshell is very, very simple. Customer has certain money. He parks that money with you and he expects that in return for what I have parked with you, at times when I need something, credit card, personal loan, घर खरीद रहा हूँ तो home loan, गाड़ी खरीद रहा हूँ तो auto loan, or insurance, or general insurance, or fixed deposits, or mutual fund, or Axis Direct, you will be able to generate stuff from my wealth which gives me some value. All values may not be understood by the customer. अभी मैं जब इधर आ रहा हूँ, ऐसे तो मेरे दिमाग में पहला थॉट ये नहीं चल रहा है कि आई कैन डाई, सो आई शुड हैव अ लाइफ इंश्योरेंस, राइट? आई एम सिटिंग इन अ कार, आई एम कमिंग हियर. अब दैट्स नॉट द थॉट. माय थॉट इज कि मेरे को यहाँ 9 बजे पहुँचना है, आई एम 2 minutes लेट, देन I have to call a couple of people before I reach here so that some stuff etc. I have to arrange my day for later. इसके बाद I have to do 4-5 customer meetings. So is that all in place? So it is not like while I should be insured for life, that's not. So who has to tell the customer that he needs to be insured for life? The RM. For example, we've launched a new fund yesterday which is likely to generate good returns for the customer. Axis Mutual Fund का एक नया service theme mutual fund निकला है. It's a new fund offering. So you will take it to the customer. The choice and the consent is always, or the decision is of the customer, but somebody has to take it to the customer. Or there is a very good credit card. Customer के life में ऐसा कुछ, he is not missing something if he doesn't take that credit card. He may believe मैंने सितारे ज़मीन पे नहीं देखी तो I am missing something. ये movie OTT पे नहीं आने वाली because आमिर खान ने बोला है नहीं आने वाली तो I should see it. And somebody else has seen it. He is saying ये movie अच्छी है तो I should go. That is something that in his life he believes he is missing. So please understand, banking is absolutely essential. It's one of the, I think it's the second oldest profession in the world. Because जैसी पैसे बने कहीं तो रखोगे ना. And वो रखोगे इसीलिए because you will need it. This was how initially it was, that it has to be, then it is, if it is stored, it is losing value. So it should generate some value. That's how banking really started. Absolutely basic requirement of any civilized human society. However, it's not something top of mind. अभी आज जाके मूवीज मतलब वो क्रिकेट का स्कोर देखना है, अभी सितारे ज़मीन देखनी है, ऑफिस जाना है, ऑफिस से आना है, ऑफिस का काम करना है, घर पे एक बल्ब खराब हो गया वो ठीक करना है. दैट इज टॉप ऑफ योर माइंड. एंड दैट इज वाई फॉर समथिंग एज एसेंशियल एज बैंकिंग यू नीड समबडी टू रिमाइंड द कस्टमर दैट दीज आर थिंग्स दैट वी हैव, build a relationship so that he understands कि if Pranjali, your name is Pranjali, right? That if Pranjali is telling me that this product is good and she seems like a good person, she is in touch with me and advice that she has given me till now has been good, perhaps it's good for me to go for it, right? Now, very simple, if that is what you are able to do day in, day out for 200 to 50 customers, relationships that you will manage for something which is very essential to his life but not necessarily top of mind, you will end up adding value to the customer. So for first customer, so for second customer, so for third customer, so for fourth, so for all 200, so for all 20 of you, so for as many RMs as we have. In the bank we have fair number of RMs. RM also, the other challenge we've had over time is RM एक बैंक से दूसरे बैंक जाता है, फिर दूसरे से तीसरे बैंक जाता है, और at least he tries, he or she believes, and some cases successful, some cases not, that he or she can take the customer with him. Customer necessarily travel नहीं करता है, account शायद खोल लेता है, but he, so on so forth. We said we want to start a program where we can hire RMs fresh from some place. अब इंडिया में हर जगह लोग तो बहुत सारे हैं, 140 करोड़ लोग हैं, बट ट्रेन नहीं है ना. ऐसे तो 140 करोड़ लोगों में हमारी क्रिकेट टीम एकदम मतलब फर्स्ट सेकंड थर्ड फोर्थ, अब हमारे पास टीमें बहुत हैं, बट इट इज नॉट लाइक वी विन एवरी मैच दैट वी प्ले, बिकॉज थोड़ा स्किल, थोड़ा टैलेंट, थोड़ा डेवलपमेंट हमें और चाहिए. दैट्स हाउ HR स्पोक विथ प्रोफेसर तमया, नीलम, एंड वी सेड ये प्रोग्राम हम बनाते हैं, राइट? अभी प्रोग्राम पहला है. गिनी पिग का भी नाम सुना है? गिनी पिग क्या होता है? डू यू नो व्हाट इज गिनी पिग? हाँ, बट गिनी पिग दिखता कैसे है? इज इट अ पिग? क्या होता है? हाँ, चूहा टाइप होता है. हाँ, करेक्ट. उसको बोलते हैं गिनी पिग है, बट इट इज नॉट अ. एंड आई डोंट नो. सो गिनी पिग होता है, छोटा सा चूहा होता है, उस पर आप एक्सपेरिमेंट करते हो कि ऐसा हो रहा है तो ऐसा हो रहा है, ऐसा. ओके, तो आप गिनी पिग्स हो. मतलब अगर आपको लग रहा है कि हम जिस पे एक्सपेरिमेंट कर रहे हैं, तो इन दैट सेंस यस. But second point is we have done this because we believe this program is important for us to be able to hire RMs into the bank who are not necessarily being hired from Kotak or HDFC or ICICI or somebody else, etc. But grow them outside and then get them in grounds up. And as you come in grounds up, because you have worked somewhere else, you have a better sense ki this is the kind of job I want to do or don't want to do. And you may do better than some of the other RMs that we have. And it's not relative. It's just that we believe as many RMs as we will require to the India opportunity, to the access opportunity, we will be able to create a program that is sustainable. The program will evolve based on feedback that you will give us, online, offline, so on and so forth, etc. We will also have lots of people coming across from Access to meet you, right? Time to time. मैं तो आज आगे बाजू में रहता हूँ. So they ask me, I said, yeah, no problem. Pune, I'm happy to come in because this is like 15 minutes from my home. But I don't think that's the reason, because 15 minutes from home तो बहुत जगह है. I came here because I felt this is an important program. We can spend some time. I can share my perspective as to what the India opportunity is, what the access opportunity is within India, and obviously within that, what is it that we expect from all of you. What you understood, what you didn't understand, I don't know. But I try to keep it as simple as I can so that you guys are able to understand at a very basic level कि आपका काम है क्या. Details will follow. We will in Access always want to believe that we will give you technology that is better than others. At least some of us pride ourselves that we understand technology better than our competition, and we genuinely believe in it, right? And not because we are from college ABC, because mentally you understand that today whatever you have to do, technology plays a huge role. And technology is not some coding and some AI, etc. It's also just core. How is your journey? Can you make it simple? अब बुक माई शो में आप टिकट बुक करते हो, और बहुत साल पहले अगर आपने कभी संगम थिएटर दिल्ली में मूवी का टिकट बुक किया होगा, तो आप यू कुड नॉट इवन रीच द काउंटर, वो बाहर ही ब्लैक में बिकता था. मतलब व्हेन आई वाज बोर्न, मतलब फर्स्ट 10 years ऑफ माई लाइफ वाज इन दिल्ली. ऑब्वियसली तब ब्लैक में मैं नहीं लेता था, डैड लेते थे. बट आई एम जस्ट सेइंग कि मतलब वो काउंटर तक पहुंच ही नहीं सकते, बिकॉज ही सेइंग काउंटर क्लोज, बाहर सब ब्लैक में बिक रहा है. और फ्रॉम देयर टू बुक माई शो, इफ यू बुक द रेलवे टिकट 30 years बैक टू हाउ यू बुक अ रेलवे टिकट टुडे, I think things have changed, and things are not only changed from at a country level from there to here. From here onwards, for Bank A vis-a-vis Bank B vis-a-vis Bank C, technology can be far better among people who use it. As you use better technology, you can deliver a better solution and a better discussion to the customer. But technology उतना ही काम कर सकती है. गाड़ी कितनी भी अच्छी हो, फाइनली ड्राइवर तो एक होता है. मतलब unless you move to a non-driverless, मतलब driverless car, etc. That driver is you. We will give you a car which is fantastic. We will try and give you a road which is fantastic, which is the opportunity basically. What you do with it is up to you, right? That's where I will end it. Wish you guys all the best. All of you all the best, right? If you have those 4 questions, you can ask me.
Hello, sir. So my question is that how currently AI has from its infancy to its general use case, it has grown a lot in our own timeline. From schooling to this career opportunity, we are seeing that it was not well known, but now it's in everyone's hand. So how banks, especially Axis Bank, is using that technology to do client churning, the data, and the investor behavior, the prediction of investor behaviors. Can you please shed a light on that?
So 2-3 things I talk about. See, okay, investor behavior. Investor, you're talking about investors and people who invest in Axis Bank, or customers of Axis Bank. Customers. Okay, got it. So investor behavior वगैरह में अभी कुछ AI काम नहीं किया है. मतलब I don't know. Maybe there's a model which exists. What we have is in branches. If you go, and any of you, I would encourage we should take them to one of the branches here. If you go, there is a tool called Adi. Adi is you can query anything. See, आज के डेट में बैंक इतना बड़ा है ना, मेरे को भी सारा बैंक नहीं मालूम. I have worked in, I ran cards and payments for 7 years. Do I know everything in cards and payments? I would like to believe yes, but I'm sure मेरे को भी There'll be areas that I don't know. And I have done this for 20 years. I've run the business for 7 years. I am new to banking, let's say 2 months now, and before that I worked in Bangalore in Suvidha. It is not possible for any of us to know the whole bank. And this could be any of us, including Amitabh, including all of us, etc. Because पूरा बैंक इतना wide है, कैसे मालूम होगा, right? Up suddenly then we hire you, or we hire, let's say, a BRO, we hire somebody to source for access, जो हम BD बोलते हैं, Business Development Executive, and he's supposed to know the whole bank. Not possible. And you don't even know what the customer is. Suddenly आप बैठे हो, एक आप आ गए, लोकेंद्र, right? या फिर अरविंद आ गए. नहीं, इनका तो मैं नाम पढ़ रहा हूँ, मेरे को प्रांजलि का नाम याद था. But I'm just saying, somebody comes in, you don't know what the customer is coming in with. सुबह आ रहा है 9 बजे अल्मोड़ा में. अब क्या क्रेडिट कार्ड के लिए आ रहा है, किसके लिए आ रहा है, बैंक स्टेटमेंट नहीं मिला और सम अकाउंट क्लोज करना है या मेरे अकाउंट में, यू डोंट नो. हाउ विल यू, देयरफॉर देयर इज अ टूल कॉल्ड आदि, यू कैन क्वेरी, इट रन्स ऑन एआई. Okay, it runs on our own. Obviously, we've created those process documents on all the information. The information is available at the click of, you have to just type the query. It's still a structured query. It's not like Google where unstructured, India, England, match, and wo kuch aa jayega. It's got to be a structured query. What do I do with a customer for a credit card? For example, I'm saying some specific query. The answer, this is available on AI. We are running some agentic AI experiments on phone banking. Some of those are on right now. This will evolve. From what AI was, let's say back in 13, 14, when it had just kind of initial work started, and most of this happens obviously outside India, to a time today when there are many firms in India who are working on AI, to a time when as a bank we've deployed a few things and some things are on right now on AI. My sense is it will evolve further. It will evolve a lot. At all points of time, right now for the next 5-7 years at least, AI will be run by human beings. Will there be a time where AI will run थ्रू एआई? वो पता नहीं, बट ये होगा, टर्मिनेटर टाइप आपकी लाइफ में होगा, राइट? सो विल सी. एंड आई एम नॉट टॉकिंग अबाउट द नेगेटिव एंड रिस्क जो मूवीज में बनाते हैं कि एआई विल टेक ओवर एक्सेट्रा. आई एम जस्ट सेइंग कि इट्स वेरी इंटरेस्टिंग. इफ समथिंग कैन जनरेट information, and I will not call it knowledge, but chalo, let's call it knowledge for a minute. On its own, it's pretty interesting, right? That's how we do, right? कभी तो some human being somewhere got burned by touching fire, तो all of us know कि फायर से दूर रहना है. ऐसा तो है नहीं कि सब लोग को सांप ने काटा है, बट कहीं तो हमारे में जनरेटिव है कि बस सांप के पास नहीं जाना है. सांप से हम सबको डर लगता है. It's not like all of us have gone through that experiment. Right? All of us are scared of snakes. All of us are scared of fire because it's something that we have seen or somebody else has seen, but it gets passed on and passed on and passed on. Right? हम टाइगर को जू में देखते हैं तो हमें एक्साइटमेंट होता है बिकॉज देयर इज सम प्राइमल एक्साइटमेंट एंड डर. बट वो हमें मालूम है जू में है तो ठीक है, हमें कुछ नहीं करेगा तो एक्साइटमेंट है. वो जंगल में होगा तो डर लगेगा. Right? That is inbuilt into us. Now, similar journey as human beings have gone through over thousands and thousands of years, AI will go through in like 5 years because it's all machine driven, right? What evolved very naturally for us is going to evolve for AI far more rapidly because it's through machines, it's through, obviously, it's going to take obviously massive amount of processing space and therefore massive amount of energy. वो देखते हैं. So all this is on right now. Sorry, some other question?
Good morning, sir. Good morning, everyone. My name is Riyan. So my question is, sir, what will be the fast track career path available in Axis Bank for the RM performing very high?
First of all, there is a track, right? In the track that we automatically have a fast track in the sense that there is a bell curve. Bell curve में rating 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 होती है. अगर आप 4 or 5 rating में हो तो you are anyway on a fast track, which means you will get higher increment than somebody else who's 3, somebody else 2, 1, etc. And from there, if you continue doing well, for a relationship manager come in, you can become the boss of relationship managers. एक BRS role होता है, relationship head. B is I think branch or whatever, branch relationship head. So all RMs in the branch report to him or her. He in turn reports to branch managers. फिर वो branch manager बन सकता है, branch manager से फिर cluster head बन सकता है, फिर circle head बन सकता है, या फिर ये तो branch में है. ऐसे ही हमारे पास एक डिवीजन है कमर्शियल बैंकिंग, उसमें आप जा सकते हो, या फिर आप एसेट्स में जा सकते हो, या फिर आप कार्ड्स में आ सकते हो, ऐसे आप कॉर्पोरेट बैंकिंग में जा सकते हो. यू मे डिसाइड देन कि मेरे को आई वांट टू गेट इनटू रिस्क, तो आप रिस्क फंक्शन में जा सकते हो, ट्रेजरी में जा सकते हो. लॉट्स एंड लॉट्स. वी हैव 1 lakh एम्प्लॉइज इन द बैंक. Will it change? Yeah, will it change? But I don't expect this 1 lakh to become over the next 3 years 2 lakh, for example. At the same time, people who do well at the top of the pyramid, there are few roles obviously, and not top of the pyramid as an absolute top. वहाँ तो एक ही रहेगा. But as the pyramid grows, etc., we will expect some people to do well. We will want everybody to do well. We will expect some people to do very well, And for people who do very well, there is a natural path that is defined. Right? That natural path is based on annual appraisal. There is a mid-year feedback and an annual appraisal. Based on that, it automatically takes care of people who do well, and from there the growth path comes. Aapka growth path kya hai? At least on RM, I would say first couple of roles, so we would define it this way: BRH, and you can also grow from priority to Burgundy. Sorry, there are two paths. One is, let's say you go the supervisory path. Second can be from priority RM you become Burgundy RM, and you do well as a Burgundy RM, you can also become a Burgundy private partner. Burgundy private is a different program. Let's say ये Mercedes S class है, ये Burgundy is Mercedes C class, and this is like Toyota Corolla, for example, right? Priority. गाड़ियाँ तीनों अच्छी हैं, एक ज़्यादा प्रीमियम है, तो या तो आप गाड़ी शिफ्ट कर सकते हो, या बोलो एक कोरोला चलाने के बदले मैं 6 कोरोला जो चला रहे हैं उनका बॉस बनूंगा. Your choice. But these are choices available, and then from there it evolves. This is, at least I would say, it. You will do the role for 2-3 years, then the first discussion about whether you are promoted or not, etc., comes in. So, but this is the path that you can take.
So, good morning, sir. Sir, as we all know, India is in expansionary phase. Recently, RBI has also decreased repo rate, sir, which has led to lower interest rate for loans, sir. Sir, it creates a good environment for investors and individual customers. Sir. As a bank, how can we make it more opportunistic and take some strategic benefits?
Okay, good. See, these things will go up and down, right? Repo rate बढ़ता है, repo rate कम होता है. How is RBI viewing inflation? When the inflation goes to 6.5, India में, please keep in mind, RBI has a mandate directly from the parliament saying you have to run it at 2 to 6. When it crosses 6, they have to report to parliament as well. So they are very, very keen. It is possible at that point, not possible. At that point, UK and US were at 7-8. अब UK US अगर 7-8 पे चल रहा है तो इंडिया में 6.5 तो हो सकता था. But then it's a mandate clearly given to them that they have to manage growth and inflation. Growth is not defined. Inflation is defined 2 to 6. So obviously they will take all steps within their powers to ensure inflation comes down. As it comes down, as inflation comes down, the risk of growth also coming down comes in. What RBI has now done is they have front-ended the actions, right? So they cut the repo rate, they cut the CRR, so on and so forth, and they've taken a series of actions over the last 6-8 months to ensure that they are able to keep the economy well-oiled. Now, are there things that we will do tactically ahead of others? There is an opportunity when the repo rate is high. There is an opportunity when the repo rate is low. It's always in a competitive context. What you can do here tactically, strategically, and what you can do tactically and strategically here. That we will continue playing out, right? How we want to do it, because when the repo rate comes down, your loans come down. But if your deposits don't come down, then you actually have आपको एक negative net interest margin concept बताया होगा. आप पैसे कितने पे ले रहे हो और पैसे कितने पे दे रहे हो. ये आपने कम कर दिया और ये कम नहीं हुआ तो क्या होगा? नेट इंटरेस्ट मार्जिन गिर जाएगा. अगर ये गिर रहा है और ये भी गिर गया तो ठीक है. अगर ये गिरा और ये ज़्यादा गिर गया तो बेटर है. बट इसमें कोई आपके पास आएगा नहीं ना. अगर आप सेविंग्स में 2% दे रहे हो, बाकी कोई 2.5 दे रहा है, कोई बाजू में पानी पूरी 2 रुपये की दे रहे हैं, आप 1 रुपये की दे रहे हो, सब आपके पास आएंगे. तो लोगों को डाउट होगा कि पानी पूरी खराब है. अगर आप 3.5 चार्ज करोगे तो आपके पास आएगा नहीं कि वहाँ 2 रुपये की मिल रही है. तो व्हाट इज द ऑप्टिमम प्राइसिंग? ये सब इट्स नॉट ओनली टू मैक्सिमाइज वन गोल, नेट इंटरेस्ट मार्जिन. यू कैन हैव लॉट ऑफ मार्जिन बट नोबडी कम्स टू यू. तो आपकी पानी पूरी एक भी बिक गई तो बहुत पैसे मिलेंगे, बट कोई आ ही नहीं रहा है आपके पास. In this context, you maximize profitability and maximize market share, and that's how the game is played, right? So there is no one goal. There is a goal of maximizing the business, maximizing profitability, while you obviously deliver value to the customer. उसको पानी पूरी दोगे तो ही तो आएगा. ऐसे ही खड़े रहोगे कि सर आओ मेरे को देखो, तो फिर तो कोई नहीं आएगा ना. कुछ पानी पूरी खिलाओगे, कुछ अच्छा खिलाओगे तो ही आएगा customer. That's how. So for pani puri, so for bank. Well, obviously products are different, but I'm saying just at absolute nutshell in a language that you will understand, this is the game. सब तो नहीं समझे, obviously. I didn't cover everything also because it's not possible. You only, and it's not like I know everything, right? None of us knows everything. We also learn as we go along. And lots of it you learn as you come onto the job. कितना भी नेट प्रैक्टिस कर लो, अभी आपका नेट प्रैक्टिस चल रहा है, फिर आप मैच में आओगे. अब आप आकाशदीप जैसे करोगे, प्रसिद्ध कृष्णा जैसे करोगे, शुभमन गिल जैसे करोगे, वो देखते हैं, राइट? वही टीम एक दिन मैच हार जाती है, वही टीम एक दिन मैच जीत जाती है, एक आध दो चेंज होते हैं. देन अगला मैच देखते हैं, फिर अगला मैच देखते हैं, फिर अगला मैच देखते हैं, फिर ये सीरीज हो जाएगी, फिर अगली सीरीज आएगी, फिर अगली सीरीज आएगी। कोई सीरीज इंडिया में होगी, कोई सीरीज वहाँ पे होगी। कोई रेपो रेट कम हो गया है तो आसान है, इंडिया में है। कोई रेपो रेट बढ़ गया है तो ज़्यादा मुश्किल है, तो इंग्लैंड में है। मैच तो जीतना ही है ना। पिच चेंज होगी, मैच तो फिर भी जीतना ही है। तो तभी होगा जब टीम साथ में होगी, आपकी ट्रेनिंग व्रेनिंग टेक्नोलॉजी अच्छे से होगी, बट फाइनली मैच तो लोगों को ही खेलना है। करेक्ट, दैट्स व्हाट वी आर लुकिंग एट यू फॉर। सो विश यू गाइज ऑल द बेस्ट। राइट, याद रखो फर्स्ट बैच है। The 33rd batch should be as proud of the first batch as the first batch should be proud of 33rd batch. Thank you.
So, thank you, sir, for giving the clarity on the role, bringing the overview of the nation, country, and relating it to their role specifically. I'm sure they have a better clarity in terms of what is the expectation. Thank you, sir. I would now like to request Mr. Anand Bardhan, Senior Vice President, Head Talent Acquisition and Center of Excellence, to kindly address the audience.
So, firstly, good morning, everyone. And thank you, Sanjeev, for firstly a very riveting session. I think being with the bank for now 9 years, I think very few sessions, and it's coming from the heart that it was so engaging. We also got to know, and when Professor Thamaya was shaking your hand, actually I was also wanting to do the same, because it's very few times you get to get a speaker who engages with the audience so well, right? And I'm pretty sure all of you are echoing in that way. So I was just mentally making some notes about what Sanjeev mentioned, and he has obviously, I think, double of experience of what I have. So I was just trying to figure out what is a personal learning and what's a learning for you guys. And I think while I will obviously keep the personal learning to myself and obviously try to work on that, I think for all of you, a couple of things that he mentioned. At the very end, he mentioned about कार हम दे देंगे, roads हम दे देंगे, drive आपको करना. What are generally the pitfalls? कौन सा ऐसे U-turns हैं, कौन सा ऐसे exits हैं जो नहीं लेनी, या जो what people take and eventually crash the car. Let me just be focusing on that. That's number one. Point number one, and he also alluded to a lot of examples around cricket, so I'll probably also continue on that. Like in cricket, as a batsman, आप first session, अगर कभी भी टॉस कोई जीता है, टेस्ट मैच खेल रहे हो, फर्स्ट सेशन आप बॉलर्स को देते हो, बिकॉज यू वांट टू प्रिजर्व योर विकेट, बिकॉज यू वांट टू स्कोर रन्स. सिमिलरली फर्स्ट फ्यू इयर्स आर योर फॉर्मेटिव इयर्स. आप प्लीज डोंट कम विद दिस माइंडसेट दैट मैं यही लोकेशन पे करूंगा, यहीं पे काम करूंगा, ये काम करूंगा, ये नहीं करूंगा. प्लीज. ही मेंशन्ड अबाउट हिज एग्जांपल राजकोट, चेन्नई, दिल्ली, and probably for the first time after 15 years he came back to Pune. That's a long time, right? And that's why he is where he is. One of the biggest pitfalls that I have seen with other batches is join किया, within 6 months there'll be this thing, नहीं मुझे बलिया जाना है. मैंने 3 लोगों से सुना बलिया से हैं शायद, बलिया जाना है because my father is unwell. Suddenly we've seen the number of medical reports sent to us after 6 months of joining बहुत बढ़ जाती हैं. सबके फादर इधर बीमार पड़ जाते हैं, मदर्स की तबीयत खराब हो जाती है, सडनली आप लोग के मैरिजेबल एज हो जाती है. एंड प्लीज डोंट गेट मी रॉन्ग, वी आर नॉट ट्राइंग टू रिडिक्यूल व्हाट योर सिचुएशन इज, सम आर जेन्युइन सिचुएशन, बट बी ऑन आवर साइड. अगर सभी यही सिचुएशंस रेज करने लगे कि माय मदर इज अनवेल, माय फादर इज अनवेल, सो कभी कभार जेन्युइन रीजंस भी हम मिस कर जाएंगे, राइट? बी ऑन आवर साइड, बिकॉज यू ओवर यूज इट. ये वही चीज है, देयर इज अ सेइंग इन द नॉर्थ, शेर आया शेर आया. अगर गांव वाले हर दिन बोलेंगे शेर आया, तो जिस दिन एक्चुअल शेर आएगा आपको पता नहीं चलेगा. सो फर्स्ट थिंग्स फर्स्ट, प्लीज, एंड लिंकिंग इट टू द एग्जांपल दैट यू मेंशन्ड, प्लीज मेक श्योर दैट फॉर द फर्स्ट फ्यू इयर्स यू गिविंग, बिकॉज you are there to learn, you give it to the bank, you give it to your role. Please don't come with this mindset, this is what I will do, this is not what I do. We understand you will have your personal limitations and we'll try to partner with you as much as possible. But the first batch, I think best legacy will get formed if this batch is different from some of these pitfalls that you will have. Can we accommodate some cases? Maybe, maybe not. But first few batches, first few years, we'll definitely want to place you as per where is the best opportunity to go. Imagine if 5 people go to Balia, and Balia has a very limited opportunity. 3 of you will fail, right? Because it's the same pie and probably one that everyone will attack, right? So that was point number 1. Please don't take this exit. Like you mentioned, if you're driving a car, please don't take this exit, because that's a crash waiting to happen. That's point number 1. Point number 2, while he did mention about the idea of you being the guinea pig, and that was, I think, in a humorous way. There's a thought out journey also that we've tried to do. That you have some bits of experience, and the fact that you've done to an extent or you understand what you would want to do, is why you've been selected also for this program. I feel personally, with my experience, 50% of the battle is won. You've made the right choice. Now the point is how to excel on that, and that is something that we'll try to work with you. So you will have internships, you will have OJTs. We will talk predominantly about the fact that how do we get you to excel in those first 6 months. That's what we want to do. If there are issues regarding someone's behavior, someone not enabling you, we are more than happy. But don't come with a mindset that मुझे ये चाहिए और ये नहीं है तो मैं किसी के खिलाफ escalate. That is the second pitfall, because you are in your, again reiterating it for the 3rd time, you are in your formative years. If the onus is on you to learn, someone may not give as much time. Are you in and around that person to get that information required? That's point number 2. So it's important. With regards to your journey, it's thought out. We've seen, while RM ke liye this may be the first batch, there are similar programs running for BROs. We've seen the chances of people succeeding from these programs are far higher than the chances of people not succeeding. We've seen this historically, so I don't think that's anyways a cause of concern. Third point, I was just making again a mental note on the fact that like he mentioned about the technology evolving, about we trying to enable you to succeed. You will have to have that confidence with us. Please don't think that it's very easy if you surround yourself with negative people, and you will have all kinds of people. He mentioned about the fact that how do you define your legacy depends on you. Same branch mein you will get people who will talk positive, who will be ambitious. Same branch mein you'll have people who want to take a slower trajectory. Bombay, I'm not sure how many of you have been to Bombay. There's Bombay mein, if you travel in a local train, it's very chalta hua example there. There's a fast local, there's a slow local. You need to take a call. आपको fast local बनना है, आपको slow local बनना है. Destination दोनों की same. It's just that how quickly you want to go there. We'll be trying to enable you as much as possible. One of the reasons why we wanted to have this campus in Pune is the proximity of this place to Bombay, so that senior leaders like Sanjeev make very frequent visit. And I was very glad that he decided to give space sometimes so that we could inaugurate this batch. We'll have more frequent leaders coming. I guess Triptu has already made a session with you or had a session with you. Apart from her, there are already some other speakers that we're planning. Please make sure you're taking as much time out of this. बहुत rare times में ऐसा होता है कि you start a program, you're part of a program जहाँ पे placement is not the issue. MBA programs का side effects ये है कि placement guarantee नहीं होती है. Same batch में someone will land up in 5 lakhs, someone will land up in 15 lakhs. Here you get a level playing field. It's for you then to take the journey higher. So please make sure that you're making the most of that. And finally, please make the most of these 2 months. Like Sanjeev also mentioned, I think online has its own pros, advantages. You are landing into it. Some of the questions that you asked, I was just making a note. Very good to have inquisitive mindset. Also try to make sure you are speaking to your professors, speaking to your faculty about how to use that in your real life. That will be very important. Please make sure of it. This 2 months, trust me, if you utilize well, are going to be the best time of your life. Because there is knowledge everywhere. वो 3 Idiots में बोलते हैं ना, ज्ञान हर जगह बंट रहा है. आपको पता ना हो आपको किस क्लास में बैठना है. That's there. Please make that sure. With regards to your joining, as you enter the final month, my team will reach out to you in terms with regards to where to deploy, how to deploy. Please be rest assured, we'll try to make the best of it. ऐसा नहीं होगा कि हम आपको कोई अगर गुवाहाटी से हैं तो हम उनको कन्याकुमारी भेज देंगे क्योंकि हमें कुछ वेंडेटा है. Okay, but be flexible. We'll try to also make sure that जहाँ पे success. So I'm not sure how many of you know जब हम deployment करते हैं. So typically LinkedIn jokes है कि HR रंगोली बनाती है. रंगोली के अलावा अगर आपको लगे कुछ तो we also use a lot of analytics. So for example, I don't know how many of you know that in a year we hire around 3,000 BROs in a separate program. BROs आप branch में जब जाइएगा तो our branch relationship officers, you'll be working very closely with them. When we hire them through programs, one of the things we try to do is if they are from a particular location, we try to make sure that even if they are not getting their home state, and high chances you will not get your home state, let me be very honest, we try to figure out, we give you locations जो आपके base location से accessible हो. For example, I remember a lot of candidates were initially coming from Bihar, for example. Our endeavor generally was that either we place them in West Bengal, or we place them in UP, or we, for example, place them in Jabalpur. Now, a lot of people will think Jabalpur kahan, Patna kahan, and all of that. We also made sure that there is train accessibility to some of these locations. While we try to do that, and trust me, it's in our best interest that you survive. It's not possible every time, right? आप बोलिएगा, typical example, UP से आप हैं, तो बोलिएगा Delhi, Patna, Lucknow, मुझे इन 3 location में चाहिए. You may get it, you may not get it. And ऐसा कोई हमारा vested interest नहीं है. It's generally where we see opportunity, and we will try to place you at the best possible location. Give us few years for you to grow. Tomorrow, if you are a top performer, locations, roles will come on you. Please keep that in mind. अभी से अगर ये mindset रहेगा, ये करूँगा, वो नहीं करूँगा, game is lost. That is a earnest request basis 12, 13, 14 years of experience here. Please just make sure on that. Again, I'd like to conclude with welcoming you guys. It was lovely interacting with you, and please do your best. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir, for giving the perspective on the HR perspective and giving them the assurance in terms of their role and posting. As we come to the end of this remarkable event, I would now like to request Ms. Neelam Prasad, National Head Sales, Career247 School of Banking, to kindly present the vote of thanks.
Good morning, everybody. So, thank you so much, our esteemed dignitaries from Axis Bank, for taking out time to be with us on this Monday morning, right, for the momentous occasion of the inauguration of the Career247 School of Banking, and most important, the inauguration of the first batch of the Priority Banking RM program. And as we've heard enough times, the first batch, the inaugural batch, it means so much. But as Sir said, the first batch has to be as good, or if not equally better, than the 33rd batch, and you have to set the tone and the journey for the 33rd batch. So, thank you, sir. Our guest of honor, Mr. Sanjeev Moge, President and Head Branch Banking South and West, for your very, very insightful and inspiring address. What you've told them, I think, has really set the tone for their journey now as they become, the future aspiring priority bankers. You are at a very good position. They say if you're at the right place at the right time, the work is done, right? So being a part of an economy which is moving to, to being, as Sir said, to be, in the 6 to 8 trillion, and, being a part of a bank, though it is the 3rd largest, bank in the country, but as Sir said, there are business segments where it is number 1, like, like corporate payments, like cards and payments. So there is so much opportunity for all of you. I mean, the economy is, as Sir said, 140 crore people. That's the power of the country. So with this power, with you, you go ahead, take your strides, and embody, personify one axis, right? Dil se open, and the bank will welcome you, and I mean, please do well. Thank you so much, sir, for this very, very inspiring address. It has set the tone for the journey, and also, it adds and reinforces so much significance to this strategic partnership that we have, to this program and to this initiative. I would also want to take this opportunity and thank Anand, Barthan, and Chinmay, and Gaurav Mahajan for being there with us. Your continued support and encouragement means a lot to us. Dr. Tamaya, you also, thank you. I mean, Dr. Tamaya is Chief Business Officer for Career247 School of Banking. You also kind of really gave them a very good analogy of how the economy, industry, and the and the company, and added how significant their role is going to be in this time. A good shout out to the organizing team who made this event happen. There are so many people who have worked behind the scenes. So thank you so much. And the stars of the day, right? You really have to kind of be the trailblazers, as Dr. Tamaya said, and the guinea pigs in that very, very supporting way. So yeah, all the best to you. Do well, and when you do well, sir has already kind of laid down the growth path for you. So there's nothing stopping you, right, from reaching the higher echelons. Whether you choose to take the local train or the fast train, that Anand has already spoken about, right? He's waiting to welcoming you to in the bank, and as you get the car and the path, be very, very mindful of the exits and the pitfalls, right? And the choices that you make, and just have a vision of doing well. If you do well, the bank does well, and of course, the country does well. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. I would now request all the learners to please take position for a group photograph. Just move forward, and sir, you may be please seated.